program tonight is Dr. Yusuf Adelabu, who is a consultant, a hematologist, and the founder of White Cell Foundation. Thank you so much for joining in, Doc.
Thank you for having me.
So straight to the matter, there are dangers of producing less effective vaccines. The question is, why should this be so, given the fact that vaccines usually go through stages of tests, approvals, and, for it to be okay, the green light? Why should we be afraid?
Yeah, thank you for the question. We should be afraid of this vaccine race, as I will call it, in which countries and superpowers are trying to outwit themselves in trying to be the first to be the one to have the vaccine for COVID-19. For every drug development, which vaccines actually also are, there are actually laid down stages of development. First, you need to try it at the preclinical stage, and then in the clinical stage where you can try it in humans. And even that, the first concern is safety of the vaccine. And so that's usually first tested before I'll move on to getting more people to test the medication or the vaccine, as in this case, to actually show the efficacy of the vaccine. So the vaccine race actually would bring that challenge if every country, because no country wants to be a slave or servant to other countries. So you want to be the first to develop this. Currently, there are about 33 vaccine candidates that are already in clinical phase of evaluation, that is in clinical trials, and still about 143 in the preclinical stage. But the thing is, it's not enough to say, oh, it's just the very first person or the first country to develop it should be the only one. There should still be development of others. So there's nothing bad in having 2, 3, or even more than that number of vaccines, in as much they are safe and they are effective.
So how much technological advancement can play in on this, given the fact that, vaccines usually take, let's say, about 10 years plus, to go through the various processes, stages of trials, and before they are okay. Now we're in a rush to produce a vaccine to take care of this. Technology is involved. How much of it can be involved, to cushion this fear that we wouldn't have inferior products out there?
Yes, the technological advancements in terms of drug development and specifically in this area of immunotherapy, which is, try to use the immune system to be able to either prevent a condition like a vaccine is or to treat. There are actually advances in the development in this area. But the technological aspect of it can only lead to more like formulating the vaccination. But the actual testing still needs to go through the normal natural route, which is that you go through phases of clinical trial. So the phase 1 clinical trial, which is usually meant to check what levels or what doses are actually even safe. Then the phase 2 trials with few number of people to be able to see that is actually also safe and effective. Then a larger scale, which usually involves hundreds to thousands of individuals to actually take the vaccine before it can now finally be approved. So the clinical development pathway still needs to be followed, no matter what the technological advancements there may be. The other aspect to look at, even when it's eventually shown to be effective and safe, there's still the aspect of mass production of this vaccination so that it can be readily available in most parts of the world, particularly for the most vulnerable groups. So yes, technology can help advance the development of the vaccine, but still proper due diligence and normal protocol still needs to be followed to ensure that we don't get a vaccine that will not be that effective.
All right, let me throw one in at you before we leave. People have all kinds of theories about the COVID-19, and one of them is that when you consume alcohol, it somehow takes care of it. How possible is this, or how true is this?
Definitely not true. Alcohol consumption has not been proven to help with either prevention or treatment of COVID-19. Rather, on the other side, a number of health implication and health disadvantages have actually been shown with alcohol. So it's actually a myth that alcohol will help. We do know that the hand sanitizer do contain some level of alcohol, for it to be effective in killing germs, in this particular situation of viruses. But consumption of it has not been shown to be effective. In the other aspect, it's actually even detrimental, so it is not advisable at all.
Dr. Bayomi, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts on the program. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
All right, enjoy the evening. And that's our package on today's edition of COVID-19 Myths and Facts. Thank you for watching, and remember, whatever you do, stay informed and stay safe. I'm Onimisi Adaba. Good night.